Today I'm joined by my great friend Nicky. I met Nicky right in the middle of a chaotic renovation project. I was completely overwhelmed and in the thick of a bad bout of insomnia, sleeping maybe an hour or two a night. My partner and I booked a few days of R&R at a spa, and on the first day I had a 1-hour massage with Nicky. The next day I booked a 3-hour one because it was spectacular and exactly what I needed. We ended up talking through the entire massage and instantly clicked. Since then, we've become close friends and have even created a course together, all about supporting the nervous system through self-care and massage. In this episode, Nicky and I share practical tools, insights and honest conversation that can help you bring more calm and balance into your life and work, especially if you often feel overwhelmed or burnt out. This is going to be a really special episode. Nicky and I both run our own businesses and we're excited to share what's working for us. Nicky, we were meant to meet that day, weren't we?
Oh my gosh, yes we were. I don't think I was even meant to be working that day.
It's so fascinating, and you weren't even at that spa for very long, were you?
8 months.
It could have easily not happened.
Oh, easily. I found that job by accident. I then started working there and thought, I'll give it a whirl and see how it goes.
Yeah.
It was nice. You know, there were peacocks.
Oh my God,
it was nice.
There were peacocks roaming the grounds, and it was absolutely stunning. And it's funny because I'd never heard of it before. A friend of mine, my stylist, Sammy, she said, you've got to go. And
I'd never heard of the place either.
So random and funny that you weren't meant to be there that shift.
We were meant to meet.
We were meant to meet. I love it. What do you remember about that massage? Because I remember instantly feeling safe and calm with you.
Oh, I think I just wanted to look after you and help you. So I met Mamadou first.
Yeah.
And he said to me, I think you had to change your time or your day. I remember him saying you had to come at a different time because you had insomnia.
I think his like 9 in the morning.
Yeah, so you couldn't make that appointment and they shifted me around. So yeah, that's why I wasn't meant to see you, but I somehow did. And then I remember thinking, how can I help her because she hasn't slept? And I just wanted to help you immediately. I hadn't even met you yet.
Oh God, you could have seen it in my face. I was on my knees.
You were. I thought, what can I prepare for this client? Because I'm not just going to do a regular massage. When you're working in a spa, you have to follow a bit of a scripted
protocol.
You have to do what's written. In that amount of time that you have to just follow a routine. Anyway, I didn't want to do that. I don't do that in life because what's the point?
Life's too short.
I'm Nicky once. I'm not doing that. So, yeah, I thought I can gather a few things, and I think I got you a different oil anyway, and I thought even if I don't use it in the session, what if she's allergic to nuts? And I started panicking about all of these things. Anyway, I got you an aromatherapy one, and I thought I'm just going to get her to take it away with her. So that was that. And then I saw you'd booked for 3 hours, and I was like, this is going to be interesting. And it was great because we, like you said, we just chatted the whole time, and I was like, shit, she's meant to be sleeping.
It was so good because I remember feeling I had gone through about 3 weeks of barely any sleep. We were in the middle of the project. I never take time off. I do now, but I never used to take time off during a project. I was like, just get to the end of it. And I said, Mamadou, I cannot go on any longer. So we booked this. And the lady was like, we've only got 1 hour and we can do that today. We can fit you in. I said, okay. Then I got a phone call. She was like, we've had a cancellation. It's 3 hours. 3 hours. And I was like, 100%. And you know what? I did sleep that night.
Yeah, I remember.
I think it was 5 hours
that
I managed to get, which was mega. You gave me all these goodies that I could put in the bath. I was like, I've got my massage oil, I've got my goodies.
But yeah, honestly, I met you and I remember thinking, this is why I do the job that I do, because I meet incredible people sometimes.
Not on this occasion with me.
Sometimes I meet absolute nutcases.
All the other clients.
But here we are in a studio
with one of these clients you never wanted to meet. How did that happen, Nicky? So did you expect that day to lead to a friendship and eventually, of course, to be on this podcast?
No, I don't know what to expect out of every day, to be honest. In my line of work, I do go away with friends. Some people are here for a reason, some people are here for a season, and some people are here for a lifetime.
Oh my goodness, I love this. I was just about to ask you, why do you think we clicked?
It's because we are sisters from another mister.
We absolutely are, or sisters from a former life.
Who knows? I do believe people are meant to meet.
I think so, and I think we definitely were. I haven't actually asked you this, but what got you into massage in the first place?
When I was a little girl, I used to watch my dad. My dad was a barber in the 70s, 80s when there was no barbering school or anything. Especially if you're an Indian barber, they're just barbered.
Yeah.
They got their cutthroat out. People would just, their hair was cut. Anyway, as well as barbering, people used to come to the house with crooked necks. And my dad used to massage their hair. It was almost like an orchestra watching him do things on people's head.
Oh, wow.
Like he was playing the drums. Anyway, then he would go, come over here. I'm going to show you how to click this person's neck. Now, this is why I said I don't know if I'm going to do this because I might get arrested.
No.
But he showed me how to manipulate people's necks to correct them. And that, if you think about it now, that's what people go to an osteopath for corrections or a chiropractor. You know, those things didn't really exist on paper, licensed back in the day.
Of course.
You know, historically, when there was no progression in medicine, people would just go to an oracle, a person, a witch doctor, or whatever they were called, a medicine man. Back in the day, these people existed and they just knew stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like my dad instilled that in me. I'm going to cry.
Oh.
So, yeah, my dad passed away when I was 9, and so I haven't been able to learn more from him since then. But I feel like he taught me enough and inspired me enough to want to learn more. And so, yeah, here I am.
Oh, that's such a lovely story. And so he's your inspiration.
He's my inspiration. I wanted to heal people. And I used to imagine, when I was little, I used to do massage on people because, you know, he showed me how to rub people.
Yeah.
It was the 80s, but it wasn't that weird, okay? And I used to imagine I was a Care Bear, but I had light coming out my hands.
Oh, I love that.
And so I used to go around and be like... with this light.
I can imagine a little Nicky doing that. So you've got that connection then, real deep connection through your dad.
That's it. And then I didn't go on, when I left school, I didn't do this straight away.
Yeah.
I did a few other things. A Mickey Mouse degree, because you want to get a picture on the wall, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then I just thought, what am I doing? I want to do massage. I need to go and do this. So that's when I trained at 21. I then went to work on a ship in Hawaii. That was really cool. Short-lived, but, you know, I did that for a while. Did a few other little things, and massage has always been part of my life. And when I had my children, my knowledge grew because suddenly I became a mum and I wanted to learn more about my children's health and my health and the changes that were happening.
What a gift to them.
So, yeah, it was great. And they love it. Of course they do. They're girls. The little boy, not so much.
Not yet, anyway. So you've always had a deep love for helping women, women's health. Where did that come from?
I think that is from being a young girl myself when I lost my dad. I think because watching my mum having to do so much on her own and watching how she led as a mother and raised us, me and my sister. That was probably, I don't know, I obviously didn't think about this as a 9-year-old, but subconsciously I was taking all this on and then having to grow and learn things in the 90s where information wasn't available. You had to learn about your own body and the changes.
No YouTube, no ChatGPT.
And stuff was a taboo. I'm so glad now that conversations happen because it's so important. I'm able to talk to my girls openly. They're able to talk to me, more importantly, because I'm still a little bit prudish when it comes to talking to them about stuff because they're my children. I'm just glad that there's a lot of information out there, some good, some not so good, but it's there and you can take the good bits. And when I had the babies, I felt like there wasn't enough information to help me for recovery, especially. So postnatally, our bodies, I think what the message that we're given is you have a baby, things are very normalized, you know, you have a baby, this will happen. Yeah, you might have a few aches and pains. You might piss yourself a little bit, but it's normal. Yeah. And it's not normal. It is normal because it's normalized, but there are things that you can do to help your body. And I'm going to talk about incontinence for a little while. Losing your bladder control postnatally can be rectified if you're given the right advice and the right help. People are just given solutions all the time and then it becomes a normal part of your life. And it's not just an inconvenience. It can impact your health in so many ways. When you don't have good pelvic floor function, it's impacting your joints, your gait, your posture, and your organs surrounding it.
Do you know what? Interesting that you say that. I actually have overactive bladder. Had no kids, and it affects everything.
100%.
And actually, that was through, I got diagnosed with ADHD a few years ago, and the stress and anxiety of not having that diagnosis and not knowing it was ADHD, that caused me and I don't really understand it enough. I haven't done the reading around it, but that caused me to have overactive bladder. Got the bladder of someone who's had 3 kids, they said.
That's another thing we got in common. There we go.
Same bladder. You've got the joys of kids, though. I've just got a dog and a cat, but they definitely didn't come that way.
Women's health. Breastfeeding. That's another thing, though, as well. So, so much around breastfeeding. There's information, there's help, yes. But postnatally, a woman is expected to just know what to do. And instinctively, we kind of do. And it's like that in any walk of life, isn't it? Whether you buy your first house or get your first car, get your first pet, you kind of know what you're doing, and you instinctively, you just do stuff.
We are in an information age where there's so much information and anyone can post information. It's knowing who to trust, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And knowing that you've got these qualifications and this is something you've been doing a long time now.
Everyone's still learning. I'm not going to sit here and say, listen to me because I know what I'm talking about. I talk from experience, and so I think that holds a bit of weight anyway. But I like to have conversations with people who are in the same boat because we're all learning and we all learn from each other, and I think that's the beauty of it. So when I went to teach massage, I learned so much from my students. Yes, I was standing there and giving them a lesson on how to massage pregnant people or do reflexology. But they've come from different walks of life, and I was able to learn so much. That taught me that actually it humbled me because, you learn from everyone all the time. Every day's a school day.
How do you think your own healing journey influenced the way that you now hold space for others?
My own healing journey, I think it's knowing that everybody has their own story.
It's not just another body for you.
It's not just another body, and that's what I've learned from meeting people through massage, doing massage for people, is sometimes we're only human. Sometimes a client might walk in the room and I'm like, oh. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes you might get a feeling about someone and think, this client is not very chatty or hard, perhaps they won't resonate with what I'm going to do. But a lot of that comes from my own fear-based beliefs, because their energy might just be a strong energy. They're not here to learn about what I'm here to do for them.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how this massage is going to resonate. But then it surprises me, and I'll have a conversation with them. I'm like, wow. It humbles me because I think, shit, you judge that person, and I shouldn't. And so what it's taught me is to hold space for people no matter what.
Massage, I think it offers way more than just lying on the massage bed. What do you think it offers beyond that hour, beyond just relaxation?
Pausing and resetting can be so powerful, even if it is just for an hour. Pausing and resetting on your own isn't the same. When you have that human touch from someone who actually has a passion for this, it opens up a pathway, I believe, and energetically, we're sharing energy. If I'm giving a massage to someone and they're closed off, I can feel that, because it's like I might as well be rubbing this table. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing's going through it. But when that person is able to relax, and initially that might happen because people aren't able to relax straight away. They don't know me, and they're in a very vulnerable position. Yeah. And whenever I have a client, I always feel this person has come to me and they're trusting me with their entire body. There's no other job that someone will come to you, take their clothes off and lie on a table and ask you to rub them with oil. No. So there's no other situation, and then you become friends. I always go in with that. That is my first thought, and I feel very humbled and grounded by that. The other person would feel that, and it allows them to open up. 9 times out of 10, the way that people open up to me, I think I could have my own book. The memoirs of a massage therapist.
Oh my God, I would read that.
I have heard some stories, and some of them are brilliant. Very interesting.
Oh my goodness, I would definitely read that. Let's talk about nervous system overwhelm and what actually helps in the moment, because we've both been there, haven't we? You have these stressful days and you kind of go, how do I get out of this stressful situation? How would you do that sort of in the moment? You've got a spare 5 minutes, or you've got back from work, or you're in your lunch break. What would you suggest people do?
Nervous system overload. I mean, we probably experience this multiple times a day just as humans. Polly, I know from what you've told me with your diagnosis, that multiplies even more. I can't even imagine what it's like for you. And so feeling that in the moment and feeling completely frazzled and you don't know whether you're coming or going, everything is a trigger.
Yeah.
I know it happens for me, just as a mum and a human. You know, sometimes I'll say, and my kids laugh all the time because they're like, oh, you're so old, mummy. You know, because you can't cope with the TV being on. I can't cope now these days. I'm sure it's just age, to be honest, but it's just mum overwhelm. The TV's on, the stupid Mr. Tumble or whatever it is in the background. No offence, Mr. Tumble, I love you really, but you know, in that moment, I hate you. So yeah, there's stuff on the TV, people using their phones, and it's just noise. The baby's screaming for something and he wants more batteries in his train. I've got my daughters saying, when's dinner? Or what do I have for lunch next? And it's a lot. And I know that I've got a million and one things. My own phone is pinging. I've got customers.
That'll be me with very long voice notes.
I've got customers trying to book things. And in that moment, I just feel like, how do I prioritize this? Who is my priority right now? Because they all are. Yeah. I'm my priority, is what I tell myself. And so, you know, don't get me wrong. I'm very aware and mindful that you can't just go off into a wonderful secret garden in this moment.
Yeah.
We all want to, but you can in your head. And so even if it is standing in that same room and just blinking, if that's all that is available to you, and just taking a breath, if that's available to you, allow yourself that time, because you're the priority right now, because you're the one that's unraveling. If you can't prioritize yourself in that moment, you're not able to help anyone or do anything. I often take myself to the bathroom and go, I need a wee.
Bathroom's a good one.
Bathroom is a great space.
No one's joining you there. Well,
I mean,
maybe.
Yeah, it's debatable, you know. Yesterday, I'm sure I saw 2 spiders having sex. I was like, God, you guys as well. What are you doing?
Just let me have a shower. Give me a rest. Stop watching me blinking.
So yeah, a bathroom, another room, in that space, just close your eyes, like I said, take yourself away. And I've read this so many times on mum pages and blogs and Facebook pages. As parental guidance that you have there, where people say, take 5 minutes and just take 10 deep breaths, count to 10, do whatever. And it is helpful. It's so simple, but just take yourself to that secret garden. Whatever that secret garden looks like for you. Pause and reset is my motto.
Sometimes I would go into the loo and I've got really nice hand cream and I sit there and I just give myself a bit of a hand massage, only for a few minutes. And usually it's when I'm rushing. ADHD sometimes makes you do that, but I thought, you know what? I've just got to calm down a little bit.
And what you're actually inadvertently doing there is hitting your reflexes.
Of course.
Instinctively, your body going, press this, because this is going to reset you. And especially when you're massaging the middle of your hand, and that's your solar plexus reflex. If you press right in the center of your hand, you'll probably feel a little bit of pain. It's a nice pain, and you might feel like it's painful because you're pressing too hard. That's your solar plexus reflex. And for those of you who don't know what a solar plexus is, it is your energy center, which lies in the center of your stomach. It's the bundle of nerves that produce the energy that we need to power our whole body. So by hitting those reflexes, what you're doing is sending a message up the nervous system, scientifically. It allows your peripheral nervous system to then set off noradrenaline. Noradrenaline is needed to calm down the levels of adrenaline that you have in your body. And you're giving yourself that chemical release.
It's fascinating because we have these conversations, and one of the reasons we ended up creating our course together was because we were having the same conversation again and again. Women feeling overstimulated, constantly on, and really just unsure how to regulate their nervous system in a way that they can do quickly, that doesn't mean taking a whole weekend out. So as we both know, there just needed to be something simple, didn't there? Accessible and calming that they could do right in that moment. Should we share a little bit about what's in the course, Nicky?
Definitely, yeah.
So we filmed a really beautiful, very easy self-massage videos. And they're very much designed to support your nervous system and gently help you move out of fight and flight. There are techniques like hand massage, adrenal reflex foot massage, which is meant to soothe stress. And we also did a calming stomach massage, which eases anxiety and supports digestion. And you could do it anywhere. It's there so that you can ground yourself. Alongside these, we've done meditation. So we've got a morning meditation to start your day. And we've also got a really deeply restorative evening meditation to help you sleep a little bit more easily. And actually everything was filmed in the stunning mountains of Mijas, which, if anyone doesn't know, they're in Malaga, Spain. And this is a really special place for me, and it just holds such a magical energy of rest and restoration that we hope comes across in the course. Nicky, why do you think self-care is the first thing to go when we're overwhelmed? And why do you think the course helps with that?
Self-care is the first thing to go because we prioritise. We've got so many things buzzing. Those are our priorities, and we feel like we just need to be available. And we don't realise that actually what we need to do is fill our cup. That's said over and over again to us. There's so many analogies out there, so I won't bore you with them. But going back to the analogy of my little one telling me there's no batteries in his train, he can't use that train without those batteries. I can't help him without mine. So we need to put our batteries in.
As women, we are taught to put everyone else first and
100%.
ourselves last, but I think we need to change that conversation.
Has to happen.
I mean, as you said, so many analogies, but it's like when you're on a plane, they say put your own mask on first because you can't help anyone. So I think this is what we've got to take into our lives, haven't we?
And I think as well, how empowering it is when you do take that time out. You know, going back to what you said when you had to stop and come to the spa for a few days, that was so beneficial for you. Yes, we don't all have the time and maybe not the means to stop for that long, but you were probably going and it was chipping away until you got to the point where you were like, no, I can't do anything. I need to stop. But imagine if we just made pauses accessible, and then the stops are actually a nice, so the pauses are important.
Yes, 100%. And especially like both of us, and I'm sure a lot of the women listening on this, they do run their own business. Actually, can we talk about this?
Yes.
I just have to say, firstly, because I haven't seen you in person since, but congratulations, because you've just started your own business, Holistic Nicky.
Thank you.
Which is so exciting. What gave you the push to finally go for it?
My kids got ill. I was working in the spa and I had to take time off. And the guilt that I felt and the amount of people, and I thought I was on my own feeling this guilt, but the amount of people I've spoken to afterwards who have said, oh my God, I know that mum guilt and I know exactly what was going through your head. When I had to call in sick for child number 1, you know, and then they check up on you in the afternoon and go, how's blah, blah feeling? Yeah, Millie's fine now. And Millie was fine by the afternoon. Everything was fine. By that evening, child number 2 goes down and I'm like, I have to call in again when I've just told them everything's okay. Surely they know how norovirus works. But the fact that you have to almost justify the reasons why you as a mum need to be there for your kids was tearing me up. And I thought, what am I doing? And those few days that I had off actually gave me a moment of reflection. And I was like, I know I've had my own business when I lived in London doing massage. You know, I taught massage as well, and I did a few little things here and there. I knew what I was doing. But yeah, I've had my own business, and working in a spa when I moved to a new area was a bit of a stopgap. But it was meant to be a longer stint for me until my little one got up to school age. He's in nursery at the moment, he's only 2. That's how it was meant to go. But I stopped in this moment and just thought, no, I need to change this now, right now, because look what's happening around me. People are crumbling and all I'm thinking about is work and feeling guilty. And that's not the way this should go.
No, there is nothing that does support women.
No.
It's almost pushed you into this
It did.
situation,
And then when I went back to work, I can feel people's energy anyway. And as a massage therapist, you can feel it even more. I just felt like people were a little bit pissed off with me. And it's not their fault because I'm a cog in their system. And suddenly I took myself out of their system. So they had to rearrange stuff. I get where their frustration was, but I did feel it and it was very real for me. I went home that evening and wrote my resignation and I thought, no, I'm out. But I didn't have a plan. I didn't have clients. And then I thought, shit, I've left work. I'm leaving work in a month. I need to sort myself out. So I found a place that I can rent. I'm very grateful for the person that I'm renting from. She's a lovely sports massage therapist as well.
And you do travel as well. You're actually coming to me. It's my partner's birthday on Sunday. And I've got a whole load of people like listed. So Mamadou can have his 2.5 hour massage. Then I'm going to have a massage. My dad's going to have a massage. And hopefully a few other people as well. So you do travel as well,
I do travel as well, yeah. I didn't plan to do that bit, but people ask me and I'm like, yeah, go on. It's lovely for me when people reach out because they want me to be part of a special event like yours. And, you know, when I've got clients that I value, of course, I do travel as well, as far as I need to go.
Oh.
Happy to help.
You've called it holistic, Nikki. What does holistic represent to you?
I feel like holistic because that was one of the first things I was taught in massage. My course was anatomy, physiology and holistic massage. And I've always been drawn to that word because I didn't know what it meant. It comes from the Greek word holos, if I'm saying that correctly, which quite literally means whole and complete. It's about looking at things in a complete and whole way, because massage isn't just, I have a pain in my shoulder, I'm going to go somewhere so somebody rubs that pain and then it will go away. It's about addressing why you have that pain. Where is it coming from? Is it linked to your emotional well-being? Is it a physical thing? Has it manifested because of something else? I'm having to look at everything in a holistic, complete way. And it's also flip the script. I want to make people feel whole and complete and holistic.
Oh, I love that. Is there any fear around putting yourself out there, and how do you think you move past that?
Yes. The fear comes in probably dips and troughs all the time. Going solo is scary. But I've learned that that fear is only there because I'm excited as well. I was saying this to my daughter the other day. She was scared about going to high school. She's going to high school in September.
Oh, bless her, I remember that.
She's really nervous. And I said to her, listen, she was frantic. And I was like, right, you need to calm down. And I thought, what's around me that I can use as an analogy? And there was just a cupboard door. And I said, listen, Millie, do you know what's behind that cupboard door? She said, not really. I said, what do you think could be behind it if you opened it? And she was like, I don't know. And I said, well, it's under the stairs, so it's probably going to be spiders. Would you want to go in there if that's what I told you? And she said, no, I'm not opening that door. I said, what if I told you that there was actually a whole secret world full of sweets and magical things and games and toys? Would you want to go in there now? Yeah, even if it's under the stairs. Yeah. And I said, exactly, you don't know what's behind that door.
Oh, I've got goosebumps. How did you come up with that?
I don't know, I just looked at a door.
Wow, I love that.
And so life is like that, isn't it? You're presented with a door, walk through it, because you don't know what's going to be on the other side. The only thing that is stopping you is fear. And, you know, there might be... I go through my life as well thinking that I'm in a computer game most of the time. I think behind that door, there could be bags of treasure where you go bing, bing, and collect it, the gold.
I want to do this. This sounds like a lot of fun.
Or there might be a boss man who you have to kill. You just never know what's coming. Or you might have those spikes or those drawbridges. This is what goes on in my head. I don't know what my condition is actually called. I don't think I could get a diagnosis.
I think there might be a touch of
syndrome.
ADHD here as well. A great imagination.
I'm rolled dull.
How much would that have helped her in that moment?
Oh, it did, completely. She was like, how did you do that? You've calmed me down. I was like, sure, take it, kid. Off you go.
You're right. The body keeps us safe. That's its whole thing, isn't it? To keep us safe. And it doesn't necessarily work in the modern world. We're scared of all sorts of things. And what you've done there is just connected with yourself. And you've gone, what if it's the same as, what if I fail? What if I fly?
Exactly. You have to rewire your brain. And I think that's probably why I do look at things in a computer game, because it's not real.
And life is a game, and it can change at any point.
And I just feel like I know that I've gone through doors where there has been a boss man on the other side. And I might not have slayed him. I might have destroyed my life, my heart,
or
right?
have the best kiss of your life as well, you know.
Oh, sometimes the boss man's good looking. And then you have a toddler.
Ladies, she has not had any wine.
This coffee is good.
There, I think.
Lion's mane.
I love lions.
It's good, isn't it?
So what surprised you about running your own business? Is anything...
I think what surprised me is I keep reading about how, especially the book that you gave me as well, you know, when you manifest.
So this is Chill and Prosper by Denise Duffield-Thomas, which is absolutely phenomenal.
I haven't even finished it yet, but just the snippets, they're good reminders. You read things all the time about women in business, especially about how you need to manifest and be positive and affirm. Sometimes you read that and you go, this is great for that person because look how prosperous they are, but is it going to work for me who comes from a Cancer estate? Is it going to work? And I think that's what surprises me, is that actually when I put myself in that frame of mind, suddenly things do just work, and it is magical. It's hard to believe until you start doing and thinking and rewiring like that. But when you take that, just a tinge of fear away, and don't get me wrong, that overwhelm is still going to be there in your day-to-day life. Carry it with you, but take those pauses, but overall have it in the back of your mind that actually, even if you slay the boss man or even if you don't, there's still going to be a bag of treasure in the next door.
Oh my goodness, absolutely. Oh, these goosebumps.
We're going to be Mario Brothers in our next life.
Well, look, you're definitely going to have to wear the outfits anyway.
That should be our logo.
How do you define success at this stage of your life?
It's probably like a small bedding plant for me at this stage in my life. But it's a plant nevertheless, which means it can only grow.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, Nicky, I'd love to give the listeners a taste of what it's like being in your energy. Could you guide us through a short grounding practice? Maybe something accessible, so even if someone's walking or listening in the car?
Let's do this. I'm going to do, and this is completely off the bat, right? So let's do a virtual massage. So I want you to get into a comfortable position. If you're walking, please don't close your eyes, or driving. But when you can, stop, press pause on this, and then do it when you can. Gently close your eyes, or just soften your gaze. I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose, and exhale when you're ready. Do this again. Long, deep breath in through your nose. Exhale when you're ready. And when you get comfortable and used to this, as you exhale, I want you to imagine everything melting. Feel your hair dropping down. Feel your jaw relaxing. Feel your shoulders falling. And just feel yourself getting deeper and lower into whatever is holding you, whether that's the ground or the seat. And just take that attention from the top of your head all the way down to your feet. I want you to imagine roots growing from the bottom of your feet. Now, this can be hard to imagine, so even if you think of my Care Bear analogy, the light coming out of the soles of your feet, just connecting yourself with the ground. The ground is holding you, it always is. You're steady, and this is keeping you strong. I want you to now imagine that energy from the ground flowing up from your feet all the way up your legs. And see that energy or that light, and as you see it, try to feel it. So imagine it massaging your legs. So this is your virtual massage. The light is warm, it's comforting, and it's soothing. That feeling all the way up your body, up through the center of your stomach. This is where your energy center is. Growing out like a tree into your heart space, and branching out over your shoulders, massaging your shoulders, relaxing them, down your arms, all the way down your forearms, into your hands. See that light in the palm of your hands. Feel yourself completely embraced in this light, like a warm blanket. Take another deep breath in from your nose. This time notice your breath. As you exhale, just start to notice how you're feeling. Bring yourself back in the room that you're in. And when you're ready, open your eyes.
Oh my goodness, I felt like I was somewhere else entirely. I felt my whole body soften completely.
Good.
Oh, this has been a great podcast. I love asking all of my guests these questions. What does an elevated life mean to you? An elevated meaning a good life. What does a good life mean to you?
So I tried to think about this question when you sent it to me the other day, and I thought, how am I going to answer this? Initially, I thought it meant being, when I was growing up and I used to look at uncles and aunties and people in your life, and you think, oh my God, they've got a house and a car and a good-looking husband. Not that I fancied uncles, but you know what I mean. They've got the 2.4 children life. When I was younger, it was just having your own bedroom and a Polly in my pocket. I badly wanted one of them.
Now you've got a real
I've got a real Polly, and she can probably fit in my pocket.
Yeah, I'm only 5 foot.
Tiny. That's probably why I manifested you from the age of 5. I wanted a Polly in my pocket.
I was always
Here
going
you
to
are.
be in your life.
So cute. So yeah, having an elevated life changes all the time, because at one stage, what you think you want, you go and achieve it. And you do get a house, and you do get a car, and you do get subscription to Sky and Amazon Prime, and then all of these other things. And you're like, shit, I've achieved that. I want more.
Yeah.
And then is it wanting more all the time that is an elevated life? I don't think that's what it is. I think having an elevated life for me is looking at what I've got, not the tangible stuff, looking at what I've achieved in my life. And that could be people. That is people, actually. That is my kids. That is my family. And that is my friends, who are also my family. And yeah, that's what it is for me.
I love that. So why is that version of life important to you?
Because without that version of my life, without them, who am I doing this for? It's me. It is me, but they're all part of me. And so they're all the characters in my book. And my book can't grow without my characters.
You're going to have to write this book. What's one belief or habit that's helped you become the woman you are today?
I'd say believing that no matter what's behind that door, I'm going to get through it, because I've seen some stuff behind doors and a lot of it has felt like it's going to destroy me. But actually, you just get through somehow. It might be because you're just pushed through the conveyor of life, but something keeps you going. And I think that's spirit and your energy, actually, and your belief. The bigger stuff that comes from the love you have from your family and your friends and all these characters that I've spoken about, you just get through it somehow. You know, you might not forget, or things do traumatize you, things do become part of your story and they hurt, but you get through, don't you? And you still carry on.
Absolutely.
And there's more on the other side.
Yes. So it's carrying that belief through with you, isn't it? So if the audience could take away just one thing from this conversation, what would you love it to be?
Whether it's for a moment or a little bit longer, just pause and believe and know.
Oh, Nicky, I'm definitely going to carry that with me, that is for sure. So we really hope this conversation was a reminder that rest isn't a reward, it's the foundation. If you've been feeling overwhelmed, I hope you choose to give yourself the permission to pause today, to soften, to give yourself what you need, even if it's just one deep breath or 5 quiet minutes. You are allowed to rest, you're allowed to feel good. Choose not to wait for everything to be perfect before you start taking care of yourself. A huge thank you to Nicky for sharing her wisdom, her warmth and her energy with us today. She is the real deal. Grounded, generous and someone who truly lives what she teaches. I feel so lucky to call her a friend. We'll leave everything we mentioned in the show notes, including the course Nicky and I created together. I'll also leave Nicky's details, including the link to her stunning Neil's Yard shop. Until next time, be gentle with yourself. You're doing better than you think.